back to another episode of Your Bookshelf Besties. I'm Ashlee.
I'm Brandy.
And today we're finally going to do it. We're going to talk about Fourth Wing.
Yes, we finally got Ashlee to read Fourth Wing. I mean, it's not that she was against reading it, but now that it's coming to the closer to the release date of Iron Flame, she read it. So we finally have the Fourth Wing to talk about, which I am so pumped to do because I love this book. I mean, it's I think it's probably going to be like my new favorite series from how this first book went. So we'll see. Initial impression.
Wanted to wait to read it.
Yeah.
But I did. So my initial impression, I loved it. I don't know what else. It was so good. After, it did take me a little bit to get into it, I felt like. I know
really?
You said that you were hooked right away.
Yeah. I didn't think it was slow at all.
I didn't think it was slow.
Yeah.
I just felt like I wasn't like
invested.
Hooked right away.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was a good book, but it wasn't one that like sucked me in from the get-go.
Yeah.
That I couldn't put it down.
I feel like, okay, so I read Fourth Wing like, how long would you say? Months ago.
Yeah.
I will say that I feel like the hype on this book really did like encourage me to read it like as fast as humanly possible. So I had finished the whole book within like, I want to say a day. Like I started it in the morning and I was done by the next day. Yeah. And I do just remember like I just didn't stop. So I'm like, I don't know if that was because it was so good or just because I was like, I have to devour this to see like what the hype's about. But I did really genuinely enjoy it. Like right off the get-go, she's like walking across this plank for her life and during a storm. I was like, damn, like they are crazy. But yeah, I personally love the premise because, I just touched the microphone. I hope that can't sit on my hands. I love the premise because it almost reminds me of like a Deadly Harry Potter or like Zodiac Academy, but like Zodiac Academy being written by a lot better author.
Okay.
Because I liked like the school vibes of it, but like the adult part of it and like how they're just so ruthless. Like I genuinely loved it. Also, there's probably going to be some spoilers in this. So if you haven't read Fourth Wing, don't listen to this until you have.
After you've read
it. Just throwing that out there so nobody's like, you didn't say there were spoilers. But
I think I've never read Zodiac Academy, so I don't know if it's similar to that. But I definitely got like some vibes of some other books that I have read for sure. I don't know which book. Like there is a book, and I can't remember what book it is, and that's horrible, but that is very similar to this, which is exactly why I could predict exactly what was going to happen at the end. Okay. I was halfway through, and I knew there was a plot twist at the end. Like I knew there was a cliffhanger because you see it all over TikTok. And I literally was talking to Stormy, and I was like, I think this is what's going to happen. And she was like, did you read the last page?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, for once in my life, I didn't read the last page. And she was like, oh. And I was like, so I'm right? And she was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
oh my God.
I had a feeling, but only because it's very similar to another book. And I want to say I think it's Red Queen, but I read that one quite a while ago. But there's just that same kind of twist on it.
I haven't read that one yet, but it's on my list.
Red Queen, but there is another book where it's like the person that they think is dead is not dead, and they come back and they're leading like a rebellion kind of thing.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, I knew it. Like I knew that was gonna happen. But I think once the chemistry between Xaden and Violet started happening, that's when I was hooked.
See, and I fell in love with Violet. Like, this is going to be so cheesy because, like, right away, I thought it was just so honorable how in the very beginning, like, her sister's, like, getting her packed and, like, ready to go to walk the parapet, right? And she's like, you need to have the right boots because the right boots will, like, mean life or death.
Yep.
And so she goes, and obviously the girl in front of her not wearing the right boots, not set for success. So she's like, oh, don't worry. I'm just going to give you my boot. And I was like, oh my God, like I love her. And then again, like right from the very first few pages, the author is setting up like just kind of her weaknesses, you know, with her chronic illness and like her breakable bones and like her small frame. Like it took me a while to realize that that was like going to be like an actual like chronic illness. Cause at first I was like, do they just mean like figuratively, like she's so petite, she's just really breakable, but like
Yeah.
it's an actual thing that like I
Yep.
guess she's just a very delicate lady.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I just
But
loved,
sorry to cut you off,
yeah.
but I found that annoying.
Really?
I found that annoying that I did give the book 5 stars because
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But there was definitely parts of it that I was like, hmm. I found it so annoying. I think maybe as like a disabled person that they kept bringing it
Bring it
up
up.
like repeatedly, like she was like
Yeah.
really drilling it in there, like that she wasn't like made to ride dragons. And like to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's such like a woe is me thing. And I know that they tried
Yeah.
to spin it as like she is small and she has all these things and she's gonna do it anyways and she doesn't want to adapt. And I get that because I'm the same. Like I don't want people to go out of their way to like adapt for me.
Right.
Like I will do anything and everything I can on my own until I absolutely can't.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask for help. But just like they kept like I feel like they just kept shoving it down your throat.
Yeah.
Like because she's so small and fragile and breakable and blah blah blah. Like I
Yeah.
did not like that.
I will agree that I do think the repetition of that and like the redundancy of it, I mean, it was a lot, but I also want to like, again, just she isn't doing something like light-hearted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's like,
Yeah.
this really could, in her eyes, she just keeps thinking like, this could kill me.
Yeah.
You know, like this could be the reason I die is because I'm so frail.
Right.
You know, but I do understand like she does overcome and she does conquer. So
Yeah.
I'm like, love her. But yeah, I can totally see that the redundancy of just like acknowledging, you
Because
know.
it's brought up in like every chapter.
Yeah.
Like everything she
Yeah.
does.
No, that's true. And again, like I read that a long time ago, so I'm like, I might just be riding the high of
No,
how
I still
amazing I
thought it
thought it
was an
was.
amazing
Yeah.
book. I gave it five
Yeah.
stars. I loved it. I just there was definitely that part was annoying. I kind of found her an annoying, like
Did
as a
you?
like
See,
main
I
character.
loved her. But again, I'm like,
I
I
think
only
that's just
remember.
everybody has different
Yeah,
opinions.
no, for
I
sure.
just felt like I felt like she did a woe is me thing a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, maybe that's just me as a disabled person
I
as
think you can
well.
connect a little bit more
Yeah,
to her, you know what I mean, with
yeah,
a disability of your own and just kind of that already puts you like on a level with the
yeah,
character that like I'll
yeah,
never understand, you know?
yeah,
So I think you're able to pick maybe like I would never or like,
yeah,
you know, so I
yeah.
get that 100%. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I
Um
just also felt like there was some like points where like during like her and Zayden's relationship, I'm like, oh my god, this is annoying. I'm like,
see, I don't really remember. The only thing that I'm like I'm trying to even think of like what I thought was annoying because
I
I
don't
think
like
I
a
just
cat and mouse game. I know that's kind of dumb, and a lot of people do. So if you did like it, then that's totally fine. Like this is just our opinions to preface that. But I I don't like in books where it's like I love you, but I can't be with you. I love you, but
oh,
I
I
can't be
don't
with you.
like that
I
either.
don't like that. And that was like the one thing that I was like, it's almost in every book that you read. I feel like,
Yeah, because
but
I think
like
a lot of people do like that. Well, actually, I
yes,
don't know. I don't know if people like it as much as they necessarily love like what it does to their heart, like how they feel about it.
mm-hmm.
Like they're just like, no,
Yeah,
like just be with them, you know? Because
yeah,
even if you don't like it, if you still feel that emotion, like you're still feeling a really in-depth
yeah.
kind of
You
way. So
just
maybe
want them
it's
to.
like a mental thing.
Yeah, I think I'm just such a happily ever after person that I'm always like, well, you're already together, so just be together. Like,
Yeah.
why are we
Why are we
playing
making
this
this
game?
complicated?
It doesn't need to be complicated. Which even goes back to like, what's that book? I feel like we just read a book where he's like, oh, it was like the end of Belladonna,
Oh yeah.
where he was like, I love
Yeah.
you, but I can't be with you, bae. That kind of stuff.
And
I don't
she's
like
like,
that.
but what? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, that's
Anyways,
fair.
back to Fourth Wing, but no, I mean, overall, I really, really, really liked the book.
What did you
But
think?
I listened to it and I
Okay.
think it really was so I listened and read, which is kind of interesting. So I listened to it, but I like read along with the narrator. So I like had the book in my hand and I just kind of like that somebody's reading aloud to you, which I think made me love it even more because like it put voices to like the dragon
I see
voices.
now I'm like I think with the personality of the dragons because the dragons were my favorite part
Yeah.
of the book.
Yeah.
The I don't even want to pronounce them because I've heard on TikTok how to pronounce them and I'm like
I'm
Tarn,
that's
Tarn,
Tarn. Yeah,
Tarn,
yeah. So when you
Tarn,
listen, you hear them. So that's
Tarn.
another thing that is like
I
I'm
loved him.
happy.
I'm like I would have loved to see like a voice to him.
Yeah. So it's a female narrator until the very end when you get Zaynab's perspective, but it's a female narrator. So of course it's when a female puts on a male voice, but it still gave like a voice to the dragon to me,
Yeah.
which I think like emphasized the like sassy and the stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that. Him and
yes,
her, like, I love that.
yeah,
I think that was very similar to like why I loved One Dark Window so much, is because there's kind of like a similar thing going on with the person in her head. I'll just leave it at
yeah.
that. But it was very similar to that. And I was like, I love that. I love that. And then with Goldie, I'm not even going to try to say her name, the little dragon, the little gold dragon, which I have
Oh,
so much to unpack, unpack with that
yeah.
dragon. I have lots of theories about this book and these characters that I'm really excited to get in. I don't know if you have any ideas
Um,
about what you think this direction of this books are going, but and then I have to ask you again. So you did not cry at any point in the book.
no.
This heartless woman, this heartless woman.
I don't cry. I'm not a book
Okay,
crier. I'm
that's
really
fair.
not. I knew he was gonna die.
Yeah. Did it make it any better?
No, but every good book, like one of the best characters dies.
Yeah.
If they just do.
God, I took that one so hard. I was like, seriously, like, so ugly
But
crying.
I know
Shut my
your
book.
theory.
Like,
I know you told me your theory that he's gonna come back.
yeah. So, what are those people called again? I already forgot. I think it starts with a V.
Oh, the bad ones, the
The
baddies.
the like yeah. So the whole book
They're
they
like, I don't even know how to say it. I listened to the book. I don't even know how to say it.
I need to bring them.
I don't know why Game of Thrones is on my mind because I literally almost said like Skinwalkers or something. And I was like, that's obviously not it.
It's gonna
No,
really bother me.
just look it up.
Yeah. Um. I'm like trying to
Google's
see.
failing
I'm like
us.
I don't even know what the with the V word. Son of a biscuit.
My Kindle's upstairs. Otherwise, I would just look because I have the book open.
Because the whole
Awkward
time
moment
I
of
know I'm
silence.
like, it's for purpose. It's for purpose. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't even know.
Here,
I'm
my
like,
phone's recording.
um,
What did you search?
I searched bad people in fourth
Oh, that's what I
week.
was gonna look up.
So anyway, the bad people in fourth wing, the actual bad people, because they think at first that it's like one, is it like a kingdom against another kingdom? They think's the issue, but it's not even the actual issue. It's this fairy tale that they're told,
mm-hmm.
and it's actually true that are the bad people. And to me in my head, it was like what they have the ability to bring dead things back to life.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like,
I googled bad guy and it says Dane is the bad guy.
that's what I saw too, and he is. We are not a fan of Dane. He's the worst.
Dang, this is bad that we don't know what they're called,
I
but
feel like it's like something with a V.
it's not like Vern, is it? Like
No.
I don't know. My Kindle's upstairs. So,
It's fine.
anyways,
So, I'm thinking that those people who have the power are going to bring Liam back and his dragon, and it's going to break Zayden's heart and Violet's heart because they're going to be seeing like their bestie dead fighting on the opposing team, killing their people.
Okay.
So, in my head, that's what I think is one of my theories. Um, Another of my theories is that the mom actually killed the dad, but I think that's like kind of a popular theory that I've seen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the time when I had read it, I hadn't heard that theory.
You're the first.
I was the first in my head. Anyway, so I was like, I think the mom is a little trick because I think she really probably killed the dad because he was going to be able to piece everything together.
Do you think, now that we're talking about it, do you think that the mom has anything to do with the people that have magic without dragons? The people that we can't think of what their names are.
At this point, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know if she has any direct anything because she sounded like she has like weapons against them. So she definitely knows that they're a thing. I don't know what her part is, if they like have an agreement, if she's like, on good terms with them. Like, I don't really know about that.
Because if, like, they know they all know that these places are getting attacked and who they're getting attacked by,
Right.
but they aren't sharing it out there. So that's why I'm like, maybe the mom has something to do with those attacks.
Or unless she's gaining something from them, like her people thinking that they're being attacked by the other kingdom and not actually like
Mm-hmm.
that, those fairy tale monsters,
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I mean, I think that she's just not a very nice lady, but
She is not at all.
what did you think about, so like Violet's like friend group? Did any of them like stand out to you? Like Sawyer was her friend. Um, what's the girl's name? Is it
Tara? No,
Danica?
no,
Is it Danica?
no.
Oh my god.
This is bad.
Okay. Well, I read it a long time ago.
I
You read
know.
this last week.
I literally read it last week. Um, no, I know who you're talking about, and now her
Rhiannon.
Yeah, because she calls her
Ree.
Yeah, yep, yep. Um, I didn't really.
I liked her a lot too.
I was just so wrapped up in the love story between her and Zayden. I was like, whenever the friends were in, I was like,
Ah, see, here's the crazy part. I feel like almost like I love Zayden. I really, really do. But I feel like I love the story so much that like that is very like
really?
not like back burner, but just not the reason I'm reading this story for Violet and Zayden.
Yeah.
Like I'm reading this for the dragons. I'm reading this for like her come up story of how she's gonna save the kingdom
Yep.
and like take the power from her mom. Like it's so much bigger to me than Zayden and Violet. Not to say that like I don't want a Zayden because oh my god, daddy, hello, but I don't know. Like, I feel like I actually really love the story of
I
it and the
really
premise of
did
it.
love the story as well, but I'm just a sucker for a good romance.
I know. I think a lot of people are. I think obviously that's why this did
Yeah.
so well, and like people are
Yeah.
just love Zayden. But what did you think about Violet's like enemies in the school? I'm trying to find their names. The ones that were trying to
Oh,
kill her.
Jack.
Jack. What's the other one? What's the
Um,
girl? The one that
Amber? Is Amber the one that she gets killed, right? I think Amber is the one that she gets killed.
um the one with the purple hair or something that likes Zayden and she's like training her because Zayden's like, you need to train her hand to hand combat, even though
Oh,
you are
but
such a
and but
bully to
that
her.
lady, she doesn't even. She's not really a bully in the end, though, because
Yeah,
she ends
she's
up
not,
being
but in the
like,
beginning though, like when we're
yeah,
still reading it,
yeah.
I was like, these people are gonna eat Violet alive. Like, why are they being so mean to her?
But I mean, that's typical in a
I
novel. Like
know.
everybody has to hate the female main character.
I just loved how intense it was.
I didn't like I felt like the hate between like Jack and her, like it was so unnecessary.
Like he was really like singling out like a woman.
Yeah, I
Do
felt
you
like
think
it
it
was
was because the
completely
mom was the
unnecessary.
captain? Do you think it was like
I feel like
that?
that's what they were trying to push it for, but it just felt
I
like
don't really remember, but I do remember thinking like this guy's kind of pathetic. Like out of all the people he could be going after,
yeah,
and he's going after someone like a woman who's like he deems is weaker than him. It's like okay, just then let
yeah.
it weed itself out. Then if
I
it's
didn't.
weaker,
That was another part of the book that I didn't really like. It just felt extremely like dramatic and unnecessary to me.
yeah,
That much, like I get it that her mom is like the leader or
yeah.
whatever, but the amount of hate that she got, I was like, makes it sound like I didn't like this book. Again, I love the book.
No, I mean
I
I think
just
you should be
definitely,
able to like discuss
yeah,
on like all
I just
aspects.
definitely thought that it was not necessary, especially with the Jack guy.
Yeah, that was intense. But I think
And then
it
when she
became
finally kills
personal
him, and I
after
was like,
something.
yeah,
Something happened and I think it made it more like personal. Like I think he like was trying to be a dick and then something happened
yeah,
like that first altercation. I can't remember. I feel like something happened. Because I mean, if you think about it, the people who are there are hardly nobody is there really who wanted to be there. It was like they either their parents were
yep,
traitors and they were forced
yep.
into it. You know what I mean? So it's not like anyone's like, yeah, we're gonna go right dragons or
Well,
die.
I don't think that they're. I still think that they wanted to be there though,
Yeah,
even though they were forced into it. I think that they genuinely did want to be there. But yeah, she has a lot of haters for no reason, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were just thinking like she's gonna get a friggin' dragon because her mom's gonna make a dragon
or
like
she's
pick
gonna
her.
make it through
Yeah,
because her mom or
as a
whatever. But
captain.
I
Yeah,
mean, her mom like wasn't helping her out at all. So
yeah. But it's not like she's gonna be like, my mom's not helping me.
yeah. What did you think about them like breaking into her mom's office
Oh, I love
to like
that.
steal the map?
Yeah, I love that.
And then like Zayden giving her like the reaffirming. I was like, this is so corny, but it's so cute.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved it. You know what I'm very curious about though? So now that we know about the brother
Mm-hmm.
and we know that like Violet and Zayden and all of his people were kind of like forced to look like the bad guys, but we're
Mm-hmm.
actually not the bad guys.
I literally, I'm
Um,
sorry, I cannot stop yawning. I don't know
and
why.
now you're about to trigger a
I
yawn in
don't know
me.
why.
But so now we know that Zayden and his people are like not the bad guys, and that the traitors in this situation really were the people who were kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
Anyways, where do you think the sister stands? Mira, do you think
I was
her
wondering about
being
that.
so high in the rankings,
Yes.
do you think she knows that
I am
the fairy tales
wondering.
are true? Or do you think
Yeah.
she's being led blindly to be fighting this other kingdom that's not even at war with them?
I I don't think she knows.
I don't think she knows either.
Mm-mm.
So here's
I
another
don't think she
question.
does.
When she knows, do you think she will side with the mother for power or the sister to be the outcast and the rebellion?
That's why I was gonna bring this up like 10 minutes ago when we were talking, and then we kept talking. But I genuinely am so torn on this. Like I can see it going either way. I can see her being, because she's so proud of her job and herself and all of those things and being a writer. And I feel like she has respect for her mother, but then like she gave Violet the book from the brother and like tried to help her out and all of those things. So that's why I'm like, maybe it becomes like siblings against mother thing. I can see it going either way. I really can.
Yeah, I personally I'm rooting for Mira. I think it's Mira, right?
Yeah.
To go with her siblings because I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of tension between the mom and the eldest daughter
Mm-hmm.
because already in that first chapter I remember she was like, how dare you do this to our my little sister,
Mm-hmm.
how dare you do this, she's gonna die, you know,
Yep.
like. And I also feel like even though Mira loves her job and she takes it very seriously and she has a lot of pride in it,
Yep.
she's also very honorable. So I
Yes.
feel like with that honor she is willing to do what she knows is right, even if it goes against like getting the power that maybe she envisioned herself having, like
Yeah.
from her mom and like maybe going up those ranks. I think her honor overall will be like, this is not right. My mom is corrupt. Like, this system is corrupt. I'm going to go to the rebellion.
Yeah.
And then
And
when she finds
she,
out that the brother's still alive,
yeah.
she's probably going to be like,
Yes. That's what
how
I'm
could
really
you, mom?
wondering, because
Yeah,
she definitely, like, she loves her siblings. Like, you can tell
right.
that she does. So that's why it's like the majority of me thinks that she's going to go. I think it's going
Unless
to
she
be,
gets manipulated, maybe by the mom is the only way I could
I'm going
see.
to check
If
this
she
really quick.
like it lied to, because she
So
hasn't talked to Violet. So if the mom intercepts before anything, maybe she can like feed in something. That's the only way I could see it if the mom lies.
that's what I'm thinking. That's where I was going, was I think she's going to end up on the right
Mm-hmm.
side.
But something might
But
happen in the
something might
middle.
happen in between, because I feel like that happens in most books. So there's like
That's fair.
something where
That's
the
reasonable.
mom gets to her first, or she just is so in such disbelief that she's like, this isn't true or anything like that. But I think it's gonna be one of those where she goes down the wrong path and then ends up on the right path in the end. But this is gonna be like a five novel
So
thing.
that brings up another interesting point. What do you think about the people who are saying like the main interest is love interest has already been solidified? Like, are we going to be happy, truly happy with the happy ending of our characters moving forward, knowing that, I mean, they better be endgame, right? I can't imagine Violet and Zayden not being together.
I mean, they have to be.
Right. So where's the chase
I
and
am
thrill
very
going to be in
curious
the
where
next
this is going to
few
go
books?
in 5 books.
Hmm.
But then when you think back to ACOTAR, which is also 5 books, I mean, granted,
And going.
the last book, or it's what, 4 books, because there's
Hmm.
that little novella, but they do switch. So I'm wondering, is she going to do something like the ACOTAR series where the 4th book switches to be about different characters? Because, like the last one's more about,
Yeah, you can really realistically only talk about characters without like an ongoing conflict going on for so long until you have to get a different perspective on the
yeah.
same conflict.
Series can go on
Unless you
for,
keep
really
conflicts
can go on.
going for a long time, like
Yeah.
Zodiac Academy. I mean, there's a
That's what
different
I was
conflict
just
every three
about to
books.
say, is like some series will just go on forever, and it's like,
You're like tapping out.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like I kind of agree with those people that I've seen on TikTok who are like, our two main lovebirds are already together. Like, where does this leave us for the next books that are coming out? I'm like, hopefully somewhere really cool, that we'll be
Do
able
you
to
think
like
that when she started this book, she intended for it to be 5 books, or do you think once the popularity grew, she realized that she was going to
should
grow
take
it?
it and run with it.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't
Because
know how
where it's
how
at
that
right
process
now,
goes
I
with
could see
writers.
it be like a trilogy. But 5 seems hefty.
That does seem really hefty. And the
Because
first
this,
book was a hefty book to begin
yeah,
with.
this like battle can't go on
But
that long.
I don't know. I mean, there's just, she really set it up well though, because we have like those fairy tale people, we have a whole different kingdom that they're like at war with. We have all of these dragons. I feel like
Yeah.
there's just a lot of avenues for, like, if she did want to create more conflict, she'd be able to. She's outsourced enough people in her world that she's like, okay, we're gonna do a conflict here, a conflict there. They're gonna have a conflict there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, the
Yeah.
dragons are gonna turn on the humans. The humans are gonna go against, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's brought in a lot of people. I think that, I mean, I could see it going for 5 books and hopefully like just, my biggest fear is that it's just too much and like we don't need 5 books, but I'm
That's what I'm
hoping
afraid
that
of as well.
it's needed and able to fit
That,
right in.
yeah, that by book 5, it's not like, okay, we're on battle number 6, and it didn't
Yeah,
need to be that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fair point.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited though for Eye
which
of Flame.
I'm so excited. I literally have it pre-ordered. I'm like, I told Ashley, I was like, we are reading this the day we get it. We're all night reading, like, we're doing it.
Oh,
We're doing the thing because I am just so excited. I'm gonna try to reread Fourth Wing by the time that book comes out.
you have a little bit of time.
I know, but
Not
I have a
much.
very large TBR that I'm trying to
So
focus
do
on
I.
October, but I think I might just need to let that go and just read what I can and do what my heart wants, anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm just so obsessed with the dragons, honestly, and their own personalities. I think Goldie, oh, that's what I was going to say. I think Goldie is going to be a very key component to a lot of it just because they're making it so like elusive about her powers. And that actually, no, now that I've brought up Goldie, I have a huge question that was really, really bothering me the whole time. I kept trying to like figure it out. So Goldie's type of yellow feather,
Feathertail, right?
yellow feather tail,
Gold
gold
feathertail,
filter.
whatever.
Okay. Anyways,
She's gold.
so whatever she is, it's very rare they don't see him,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So her power while she's a little dragon is to freeze time.
Yes.
So she can channel that to her rider, but her rider can't ever like, right?
Right now, because she's like a
A little
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Right. So this is where my question is. So when she's not a baby, she's not freezing time anymore. Something, if they make it sound like that power goes away and then
And
she'll be
it like,
usable
yeah, it changes. Yeah.
to where Violet can like do kind of what she does with Tarn, Train,
Taryn. Taryn.
Tarn.
That's how they say it in the audio.
I think
Taryn.
that's what it is, but my phonetically my mouth
On the
doesn't want to say
audiobook, they
that.
say it Taryn.
Tarn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So with Tarn, like it's very much like she can use that whenever, whereas
Mm-hmm.
Goldie's like, okay, sending it your way,
And I'm
you
gonna
know?
go sleep for a month. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever she's not a baby though, that power will go away and she'll be able to do something else that her and Violet will share. Or do
That's
we not
kind of what they alluded to. That
That's what I feel
yeah.
like, but I was like so confused because sometimes I was like, or is she gonna be able to stop time this whole time and like be able to not be so tired afterwards. I don't know. I was a little confused on how that situation works.
I think it just drains all her energy because she's like a baby dragon.
Right.
But
She's
at
not a
the end of the
baby.
book, they were like already alluding to her like growing really fast.
Yeah. But then I was just like, I had also seen this um like TikTok about where it says that so her power with Taryn is very destructive, and that they always talk about like a balance being
Mm-hmm.
needed so that whatever her power with Goldie is going to be like something more
The
healing and
balance.
more like the opposite of destruction, when I guess healing,
Okay.
so that they think maybe like she'll be able to bring people back from the dead or
Kind of
heal
like her
or
brother is
yeah.
kind of like a healer or whatever.
Do you see that kind of happening with Goldie? Or do you think she's just going to be able to freeze time?
I don't know.
There's a lot to unpack with this
There is a
book.
lot,
There
yeah.
really is. I feel like if I had just read this yesterday, you know how I am. I
We'd
would
be here for
probably,
3
we would
hours.
really be here for a long time because I get psychotic with my analyzing, but I don't think this is bad for not having read this in a couple months. But
No, I actually feel bad because I read it last week and I'm like, my brain's like foggy. I mean, I was sick in between, so I'm like, my
yeah.
brain's a little foggy. But no, I think I'm just really excited. I do need to pre-order Iron Flame. I haven't pre-ordered it yet.
Are you going to get, so people have been getting the fourth wing version that matches Iron Flame. Are you going to be that girl?
No,
Okay. I was like,
I'm
I'm not
not.
going to be surprised, but I also am like not
Honestly,
expecting
I
you to do that.
probably won't even buy the physical book. I'll probably just buy it on my Kindle.
I actually got the physical book. Can you believe it?
Do you have the physical for thing?
Technically, no. My best friend has the book, but she also ordered the red version to match the other one. So I'm just like,
You're like, oh, I'll
maybe.
take that one.
We
Yes.
don't need no double books, right,
No,
Heather?
yeah, no, I have the physical of Fourth Wing, but I think I'm just gonna on my Kindle. Yeah.
I honestly would probably rather read it on my Kindle, but yeah, I'm not paying for it on my Kindle and my book.
I'll
You know me.
probably also like I'll probably do what I did for Fourth Wing, where I can listen and read at the same time because
That's
I felt
actually
like
like an
it made
amazing
it
idea.
so much
I
better.
would love to hear the dragons in my head. I feel like that
Yeah, it's
the
on
dragons were
Scribed.
like the best part.
Yeah,
They were my favorite part.
yeah,
If anything, these five books can keep going on for a long time if they need to after that. If the dragons have a lot more dialogue, because I was like,
yeah,
I love you girls, guys.
yeah.
That was really fun. But yeah, I mean, overall, I gave it a very solid 5 star. I mean, the things that I didn't like, I mean, I didn't mind the main character. I loved, the banter between her and Zayden. I liked the conflict between her and fellow schoolmates.
Uh-huh.
I loved her little inner circle that was kind of like, I guess like they were kind of like outcasts. I don't know. Maybe they just felt like
Yeah,
outcasts. I'm sure
yeah,
everyone had little things like that.
yep.
But I just liked the circle that she had that helped her get through her tasks. I loved the tasks that they had to do. It was very fun to read about all of their little um I'm trying to think of what it's called. Like, their
Like they're the classes that they had to go through
their
and
their
stuff. Yeah,
classes, yeah, but their tests. Their
yeah, their
tests. I
tests.
love
Yeah,
their tests. Um Loved the dragons. I'm trying to think. I love the relationship between her and her sister,
yeah.
her and her friend Ree. There really wasn't anything bad I have to say about the book for me. I'm like, I would be interested to reading the 1 star reviews on Fourth Wing. I feel like that would be a good one because
Yeah.
I'm like, I would need context to see how someone could give that 1 star.
Yeah.
I don't think the writing was bad, right?
I don't think so. Like I said, I don't. I loved the book. There was just certain parts of it that
Right,
I gave it a 5 star. I was really close to giving it like a 4.5,
right.
4.75, but I
I'm just gonna call it, yeah,
4.825. No,
yeah.
we're gonna get real specific. No, there was just some parts of it that I was like, eh. But I think, like I said, I think that's because I just read it, so I guess I was more analytical of it. But you read it a while ago, so you've just been like sitting on it, so maybe that's why
I don't know.
you.
I read it, and you know how I am,
Yeah,
like Psycho, and
which is
I
why
read
I'm
it.
very surprised that you're like rubbing off on me because
Yeah,
usually I'm just like, it's a great book. Everything about it's great. Everything's perfect. But I was like
Yeah.
really like thinking about it, and I was like, ugh, she's a little annoying to me, but
Yeah.
I
But
still
again,
liked
I feel
her.
like,
I like annoying people, I guess.
well, again, like I feel like you have a lot more to connect with her and
Yeah.
like be more judgy, you know?
Yeah.
You are like in the mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I'm like, oh my gosh, like she is going through all
Yeah.
of this and like
Yeah.
she is kicking, she's kicking ass, you know, and she's
Yeah.
doing all these things. So for me in my head, the author did, I'm sure, exactly what she was hoping to
Yeah.
do, you know? So yeah, I genuinely loved this book. I didn't have any qualms about it. Um, trying to think, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I had anything bad to say about it at all.
Yeah.
I think that my biggest thing was that some parts, like the sex scene with her and Zayden, I'm like, I wasn't even interested in that because I'm like, back to
I thought
the
it was okay.
conflicts.
Back to like a little dramatic.
Yeah,
I loved them, love their
right, right, right.
relationship. But when they were like they destroyed the whole room, I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, her
what?
lightning was destroying
Right?
everything.
I
Everything was
was
on
I was
fire.
literally like it reminded me of another book where they like oh shoot, what book was that? Where they like literally destroyed everything because they
Akatar,
were like
probably.
I think it was
It was
Akatar,
probably
huh?
Akatar.
Yeah. Where like everything was like in shambles because
Yeah,
they had wild sex. I think it was Akatar.
yeah, it probably was.
So there's definitely pieces of this that obviously this book came out, all of the other books have been out, and I'm sure she took pieces of all of those other books to come up with this, which is fine because you have to get your creative from somewhere, right?
You have to see what people like.
Yeah, yeah. So, but there was, it was great. I loved it. I'm excited for the next one.
Me too. I had nothing bad to say about it, which is very surprising. So,
Yeah. Did Fourth Wing come out this year?
yep.
So the first and second book
Mhm.
came out in one year.
I hope that doesn't
Hopefully,
mean
that
that it's. I was
I
like,
was
you
just
said
about
that, and I was like, oh my god, when has that ever worked out well?
that's what I'm literally like. Hmm, hopefully the second book is good because she wrote it really quickly.
I wonder if it's as long as this one.
It's longer.
Oh, and it's longer.
Hmm.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm ready. I'm gonna do what our friend Sammy did and make a cup of coffee and drink coffee all night and read my book.
I cannot. I literally, when I clearly I've yawned like 5 times during this video. When I'm tired, I'm tired. Like my body just
Yeah,
shuts
me too.
down.
Caffeine doesn't help me.
No, it doesn't.
Mm-mm.
I can drink a cup of coffee and
And
go
go
to
to
bed
sleep. Me too.
right away.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah. No, I think that's all we have to say though on Fourth Wing. There was spoilers again. Lots of predictions about
Yeah.
what's
Let
happening
us know
next.
if you have any ideas that
Yes.
are like things that you think are going to happen that we missed, maybe, or maybe any variations of what we already said, or
Mm-hmm.
if you can answer any of our questions about Goldie's powers and how that's going to work when she's in a more
Because
old.
clearly one of us doesn't read as deep as the other, and things just go in and out of my brain, which is why I waited so long to read it because I knew the other one wasn't coming out to November. And I'm honestly a little bit regretting like not reading it, like reading it now. I should have waited like a week.
You might as well have, but it's fine. I'm glad
It's
that we
done
were able
now.
to do this.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No.
again, 5 stars from both of us. If you
Yep.
haven't gone on this train, you need to get on it. Hopefully, you have if you've listened to this podcast
Yes.
episode.
And then let us know your thoughts down in the comments below.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye.